Hey, does anybody think that Dan Lanning was rubbing Mike Gundy's comments in his face, or is Oregon just unstoppable right now? Lockdown Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman, 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. And I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hey, while you're with us, hit that free subscribe button down below. That way you'll never miss a single episode. If you can also share, like, and follow, that helps us out as well. Plus, you can hype our YouTube videos as well. So, did Dan Lanning pour it on? I don't want to say running up the score. Look, Oregon's good. We're going to hash this out. The Ducks are on a roll, and we're going to talk to you about what's next for Saturday here on Locked On as well. But 69-3, that's a pretty impressive score as Oregon defeated Oklahoma State. Now, clearly, Dan Lanning's program is superior to Mike Gundy's program at Oklahoma State. The Ducks are trending upward. The Cowboys, Gundy's on the hot seat. They don't spend the money the way they used to back in the days of T. Boone Pickens when the oil man was flooding money into the program. So, but there's context into this impressive win by the Ducks over the weekend. During the lead up to the game, Gundy was, woe is me. We don't have any money here. And he commiserated to the media and talked about how Lanning and the Ducks, with the help of Nike, have spent $40 million to put this roster together through name, image, and likeness and revenue share. All perfectly legal, by the way. Gundy claimed that he's only spent $7 million on his roster the last 3 years. Kind of looked like it, to be honest. He was laying the groundwork for a possible blowout. That's what he was doing. And Lanning was having none of it in his press conferences during the week. Just listen to his reply. He said, and this is what I loved. First of all, he prefaced his comments with, I have all the respect in the world for Mike Gundy, but you know how you have the conversation with people and you start a statement with all due respect, or, hey, don't take this the wrong way, or this isn't meant to offend you, but you're getting ready to lay down the hammer on somebody. And that's exactly what happened here. Lanning said that coaches who say stuff like Gundy said, they're just making excuses for losing. If you're going to lose, you don't have the money to win. And he didn't back off. He didn't apologize for Oregon having all these resources that he's using. Not at all. Of course, the Ducks are among the biggest spenders in college football. Again, all perfectly legal and normal. He said, though, he doubled down on it. He says, we pay to win. That's what we do here at Oregon. We pay to win. You remember her members? We play to win the game. Well, we pay to win the game at Oregon. So, at Oregon, the standard is to win. And he said, if you want to be one of the big boys in the top 10, you're going to have to pay the money. There's a price. And he said the Ducks are committed to winning with their resources. Now, going into this game, everybody thought Oregon would win easily. Vegas had it at minus 28.5 points, over a 4-touchdown win. But a 66-point win, where Oregon didn't even allow a single touchdown. Did anybody see that coming? I didn't. Did Lanning run up a score here to prove a point? Or maybe out of spite because of Gundy's comments? Only Lanning knows for sure. But he was asked about it, and he said his team never needs extra motivation. They're good. And he did say, though, in the same breath, it never hurts when somebody pours gasoline on the fire. So maybe there was some there. So Mike Gundy versus Dan Lanning and the soundbite war this past week led into a very impressive game statistically for the Oregon Ducks. Dante Moore had 266 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. And this was the biggest loss in Mike Gundy's 20-year career. Again, he used to have money coming into his program with T. Boone Pickens, but then he died and it stopped. Otherwise, there's no difference between an oil man like T. Boone Pickens propping up a program or Phil Knight and Nike propping up a program at Oregon. There's no difference. It's just that Oklahoma State's time is past and gone, literally. Right now, Oregon is on the rise. 9 players scored for Oregon on Saturday. 631 yards of offense. There was a couple of big plays that I would like to talk about. The Noah Winnington 59-yard touchdown on the second play of the game. DANTE Moore, a young player we're keeping our eye on here, had a 65-yard catch on the second drive. However, I think the biggest exclamation point in this game was Oregon had 2 pick sixes on consecutive passes in the third quarter. I don't know if I've ever seen, maybe I have, but you don't see it often. Jerry Mixon picked off an Oklahoma State pass, ran 26 yards for a touchdown. Oklahoma State's offense comes back out, throw another pass, boom. Peyton Woodyard, 30 yards for a touchdown. Back-to-back plays. That's pretty impressive. So here's what else I think is impressive about Oregon right now. Let's put all the Gundy stuff aside and the Lanning stuff and all that, because it was an entertaining week. And you know, if you're a regular here, if you're an Oregon fan every day, we love talking about the Ducks and Dan Lanning and talking about this program. They're one of the most interesting, exciting programs in the entire Big Ten. But let's compare the start to this year to the start to last year. And we all know what happened last year. They went undefeated and won the Big Ten title in their first year of the Big Ten. So far this year, Oregon has outscored its first 2 opponents, Oklahoma State and Montana State, by a combined 128-16. Fast and decisive start to the season. Fantastic. And remember, there were some question marks about Dante Moore. We didn't even know if Dante Moore was going to be the starting quarterback until the first game started last week. It was top secret. So compared to last year, again, a team that was good enough to go undefeated and win the Big Ten title, actually, if you remember correctly, struggled a little bit to win their first few games. There was the Idaho game. They only won 24-14. That probably should have been a blowout. There was the shootout over Boise State, which turned out to be a good team, playoff team, 37-34. So a couple of close calls. And then, as I remember it, the first half of the Oregon State game was pretty close. Ultimately, they turned it on in the second half and won 49-14, then went on to have their undefeated season. So this year, I think Oregon Ducks fans should be encouraged. Things seem to be hitting on all cylinders right now at the beginning of the season. If they can stay healthy and continue this on, look out. The sky's the limit for this football team. Now, this Saturday, they're at Northwestern. And then they got Oregon State. And then it's the big Penn State game, the whiteout game. That's where, and I'll tell you, Oregon Ducks fan, Penn State, I mean, they won 34-0 over the weekend. Penn State's, they're leaving points on the field. They should have scored more than 34 points. And again, they had bad weather and all that. But if Oregon's going to be this explosive and dialed in, I'm not suggesting they're going to score in the 60s against Penn State. The defense over there is too good. But I think it's a good sign, don't you? I want to hear from you, Oregon Duck fan. Let's talk about it. If you are new here, we're here every day. All things Big Ten, all 18 teams. We have the video here on YouTube, but the audio version is also, we have audio version. If you want to listen on Apple or Spotify, we're there too. But I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button. That way you'll never miss a single episode. And if you're a Big Ten fan, if you're an Oregon fan, a Big Ten fan, I know you know other Big Ten fans that might not know we're out here each and every day. Would appreciate if you would word of mouth, share that we're here, or literally share the little arrow, share this video with your Big Ten friends. That would be great. In the meantime, I need your help for this upcoming weekend. I will explain what that's all about coming up in 1 minute right here on Locked On Big Ten. If you're in construction or the repair business, you need supplies. If you don't have supplies, you're idle. And if you're idle, you're losing money. Go to supplyhouse.com and order parts. Over 280,000 parts with name brands, all available. It could be on your doorstep tomorrow. I'm talking plumbing parts, HVAC, electrical items. They have it all. So check it out. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting your projects and wasting time and wasting money. And their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. They have their Trademaster perks. It's like priority shipping and dedicated support makes the whole process smoother from start to finish. Join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use the promo code SHColleges5. That's the number 5, SHColleges5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. You want to go to a game? We've been talking about these games. You're excited. Maybe you're watching on TV. Maybe you're listening on the radio. Maybe you're listening and watching podcasts about this stuff. You want to go to the game and feel the excitement of the game? Get Game Time. Get the Game Time app. This is how you get tickets. Because once you and your friends decide, hey, let's go, and it falls on you to get the tickets, that can be stressful, but not with Game Time. They got all the best deals. They got a view from the seat of the tickets you're about to buy. They got the best prices. Did you know you can go to a college football game for as low as $25 with Game Time? Jump on it. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCollege, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. When you go to a game, you want to wear some garb, right? You want to wear maybe your favorite team's hat like we used to do back in the day. But those old style vintage logos are hard to find if you want to go old school a little bit. Well, the game has just what you need, right? And they got all the styles and logos from the 80s and 90s like we used to wear. In fact, check this out. I cover the Big Ten, but I went to Indiana. So they sent me these Indiana hats. Look at the vintage if you're on video. The vintage printing and stitching on there. It's a classic. Those styles from the 80s and 90s, very reminiscent of those days. And the prices are vintage as well. $16.99 if you use my special Locked On College. The word locked on. One word. So head on down to thegamecaps.com, thegamecaps.com, and grab your team's classic bar or retro circle design and use Locked On as your code for your exclusive discount. Because legends wear the game. Thanks for checking us out here at Locked On Big Ten. And all right, I need some help here. You know, we're here every day with our podcast. We go live on Saturdays after the biggest games of the week. And we went live after the Michigan-Oklahoma game. We went live after the Texas-Ohio State game. I'm looking at the schedule this week for week 3 of the Big Ten. It's interesting. I have not decided which game I am going to go live here on Locked On Big Ten. Maybe you Ducks fans are hanging out here today. Got the game at Northwestern. Maybe after that one. Let me know what game you think we should go live after. It's a tricky selection this week. Usually they're obvious, but here there's a lot of selections. Let me know what you think where we should go live on Saturday. We are the most unique Big Ten podcast in the world. Audio version, video version, all 18 teams. News, analysis of that news, opinion of that news. We don't shy away from opinion. All that right here at Locked On Big Ten. There are many ways for you to interact with us on Twitter at Talk Big Ten, our website, talkbig10.com, where we have all of our podcasts. Plus, before you go, hit that subscribe button and follow this podcast right now on your favorite podcast app. That way you get the latest episode of Locked On Big Ten as soon as it becomes available each and every day. Also, a shout out for you college football fans. Locked On and Fire TV have joined forces. Drake Toll from Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation every week with two-time AP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson and Jesse Hawley, and our Locked On experts right there. College football preview that only Locked On can deliver. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season only on Fire TV. That'll do it for us. Thanks for checking us out. I always appreciate it. I never take it for granted. Can't wait till we meet again tomorrow. For Locked On Big Ten, I'm Craig Sheeman. See you then.